The Galactic Council chamber echoed with murmurs of disbelief as the news broke. A human girl, a peace delegate on the neutral moon of Valeris, had been attacked by the Xylar Dominion. The details were horrific. She had been caught in what the Xylars dismissed as an unfortunate misunderstanding. Earth did not see it that way. Admiral Cale Riven stood before the United Earth Assembly. His sharp eyes scanned the room, taking in the faces of leaders, strategists, and diplomats. The weight of Earth's next move rested squarely on his shoulders. This attack was not just on one of our own, Cale declared, his voice steady but firm. It was an attack on humanity's resolve. If we do nothing, we invite more aggression. Across the galaxy, humanity was known for its capacity to adapt, endure, and, when pushed too far, retaliate with overwhelming force. The Xylar Dominion had underestimated Earth. They viewed humanity as a fledgling species, still finding its place among the stars. They would soon learn their mistake. Within hours, Earth issued an ultimatum to the Xylar Dominion. Surrender those responsible for the attack and offer reparations, or face the consequences. The Xylars laughed at the demand, broadcasting their refusal across the galactic network. To them, Earth's fleet was impressive only in size, not in power. They claimed humanity lacked the ruthlessness required for true dominance. The deadline passed, and humanity acted. Admiral Riven mobilized the fleet. Over 1,000 ships, ranging from nimble interceptors to the massive dreadnought-class warships, each bristling with advanced weaponry. The flagship, Solaris Ascendant, led the charge. Its crew was a blend of veterans and the best new recruits, all bound by a singular purpose: to show the galaxy that humanity was not to be trifled with. As the fleet entered Xylar space, resistance was immediate. Swarms of Xylar fighters darted from their asteroid bases, attempting to halt the human advance. But Earth's ships were equipped with cutting-edge AI coordination systems, allowing them to outmaneuver and outthink their adversaries. The Xylar formations broke apart under the relentless onslaught. On board the Solaris Ascendant, Admiral Riven observed the battle with a calculated calm. "Focus fire on their command centers," he ordered. "We don't need to destroy their fleet, just their will to fight." The precision of Earth's attack was a spectacle. Xylar defenses crumbled one by one, their outposts reduced to flaming wreckage. As the humans pushed deeper into Xylar territory, they broadcast a single message: "This is the price of harming humanity." The turning point came at the Xylar capital, where the Dominion's supreme warlord, Zytral, awaited with his elite forces. Believing Earth's fleet would falter in a direct assault, he positioned his forces in a defensive sphere around the capital. Admiral Riven saw through the tactic instantly. "Deploy the Sunbreaker array," he commanded. The Sunbreaker, a weapon of immense destructive power, was Earth's last resort, until now. As the array activated, a beam of concentrated solar energy erupted, carving through the Xylar defenses like a blade through paper. In the aftermath, Zytral surrendered. The Dominion, once a proud and unyielding empire, now faced Earth's terms. Reparations were paid, and an official apology was broadcast across the galaxy. The human girl's name, Mira Elson, became a symbol of humanity's unity and strength. Monuments were built in her honor, and her story inspired generations. The galaxy learned a vital lesson that day. Humanity was not to be underestimated. They were capable of peace, but also of unparalleled might when provoked. And for those who dared harm even one of their own, the price was unimaginable. As the ashes of the conflict settled, the galaxy watched with bated breath. The Xylar Dominion, once a dominant force, now stood humbled. But for Earth, the victory wasn't just about revenge. It was about setting a precedent. Humanity had proven that it was not just another species clawing its way through the galactic hierarchy. It was a force to be reckoned with. Admiral Cale Riven, now a household name across the stars, returned to Earth a hero. Parades were held in his honor, and the fleet's crews were celebrated as saviors of human dignity. Mira Elson's story, however, continued to resonate the loudest. Mira had survived the attack, though the scars, physical and emotional, remained. As she recovered, she became a vocal advocate for intergalactic justice. Her speeches, laced with passion and raw truth, called for unity among Earth's allies and accountability for those who sought to oppress. She argued that humanity's power should not merely be a hammer to strike down enemies, but a shield to protect the innocent. Admiral Riven visited Mira during her recovery. They spoke about the events that had unfolded and what they meant for humanity's future. "You didn't just survive, Mira," Riven said, his voice filled with a rare softness. "You became a symbol. But the galaxy won't forget this. There will be others who see our actions as a challenge, and we'll be ready for them," Mira replied, her resolve unshaken. "But maybe next time, we can show them our strength before it comes to war." Her words planted a seed in Riven's mind. Humanity had demonstrated its might, but now it was time to solidify its place as a stabilizing force in the galaxy. With the support of Earth's leaders and allies, Riven proposed the creation of the Interstellar Defense Accord, a coalition of species dedicated to mutual protection and peace. The idea was met with mixed reactions. Some saw it as a bold step toward unity, while others feared it was a move for human dominance. The Xylar Dominion, under its new leadership, surprisingly agreed to join the accord. Zytral, stripped of his warlord title but allowed to remain as an advisor, publicly admitted that humanity's actions had forced them to reevaluate their ways. "We were wrong to underestimate you," he said in a historic broadcast. "Your strength has humbled us, and your vision for peace inspires us." The Accord's formation marked a new era. Humanity, no longer seen as an outsider, became a leader among the stars. They shared their technology, offered aid to struggling colonies, and mediated disputes between species. Yet, the memory of Earth's response to the Xylar attack remained a stark warning to those who might challenge the Accord's ideals. Years passed, and Mira Elson became one of the youngest diplomats to ever represent Earth in the Council. Her speeches echoed across galaxies, reminding everyone that strength and compassion could coexist. Admiral Riven, though retired, remained a trusted advisor, his legacy shaping the policies of Earth's expanding influence. But not all were pleased with humanity's rise. In the shadows, factions of discontent began to stir. Whispers of rebellion against the Accord spread among species who viewed Earth's leadership as tyranny. Unbeknownst to Mira and Riven, a new threat was brewing, one that sought to exploit the cracks in this fragile unity. And so, while humanity had risen as a beacon of hope and power, its greatest challenges still lay ahead. The galaxy had changed, and Earth had played a pivotal role in that transformation. But as the stars glimmered with newfound alliances and unseen dangers, one truth remained. Humanity would face whatever came next, together, unyielding, and prepared to protect their place among the stars. The galaxy moved forward, shaped by Earth's newfound role as both a protector and a leader. The Interstellar Defense Accord, IDA, brought an era of relative peace, fostering collaboration among dozens of species. Trade routes flourished, shared research advanced technology, and joint exploration teams ventured into uncharted regions of space. But in the vastness of the galaxy, unity was as fragile as a star on the verge of collapse. In a dimly lit chamber on the rogue planet MYRX, dissenting voices echoed. Representatives from species bitter about Earth's growing influence gathered in secret. The leader of this shadowy coalition, a towering alien known only as Kalek, slammed his clawed hand on the table. Earth claims to protect, but what they truly seek is dominance. They mask their ambitions with noble words while building fleets larger than any of us could imagine. The others murmured in agreement. Kalek continued, his reptilian eyes gleaming. The Accord is a leash, and we are the ones bound by it. It's time we remind humanity that the galaxy belongs to all of us. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Mira Elson sat in the council chamber, reviewing reports of growing unrest in the outer colonies. Admiral Riven, summoned from his quiet retirement, stood by her side. His once jet-black hair now streaked with gray, he exuded the same calm authority that had guided Earth through its darkest days. "This isn't just discontent," Riven said, his voice low but firm. "These factions are organizing. We need to address this before it becomes something more dangerous." Mira nodded. "We've come so far, Admiral. We can't let this fall apart. But we need to tread carefully. If we react too strongly, we'll confirm their fears about our dominance." Riven smirked. Careful doesn't mean weak. Let's find out who's pulling the strings. The IDA dispatched reconnaissance teams to investigate the rumors. One such team, led by Commander Leon Arcos, infiltrated MYRX. What they found was alarming. Kalek's coalition wasn't just planning protests or sabotage. They were assembling a fleet of stolen ships, retrofitted with black market technology, and experimenting with a dangerous new weapon powered by unstable dark energy. When the intelligence reached Earth, the Council convened an emergency session. The coalition was weeks away from launching a coordinated attack on key Accord territories. Mira addressed the assembly, her voice resolute. We must act decisively, but not recklessly. If we destroy them outright, we risk validating their fears. We need to dismantle their operations and show the galaxy that the Accord is built on justice, not just strength. Riven agreed. We'll strike strategically, take out their fleet, neutralize the weapon, and capture Kalek alive. The galaxy needs to see that we're willing to listen, even to those who oppose us. The IDA's fleet mobilized under Riven's command. The Solaris Ascendant, refitted with the latest technology, once again led the charge. Mira joined the mission, determined to show solidarity. As they approached MYRX, the fleet split into task forces, each assigned a key objective. The battle that unfolded was both chaotic and precise. Kalek's fleet, though formidable, was no match for the coordinated precision of the IDA. Still, the dark energy weapon posed a dire threat. On board the Solaris Ascendant, Mira and Riven watched as a beam of pulsating black light tore through space, consuming anything in its path. We can't let that weapon fire again, Mira said, her hands gripping the edge of the command table. What's our status? Sunbreaker Array is charging, a tactical officer reported. But it'll take time. Riven turned to Mira. We need to buy that time. Ready a strike team. We'll take out the weapon from the ground. Mira insisted on leading the team herself. With Riven and a squad of elite operatives, they descended to MYRX's surface. The enemy compound was a labyrinth of defenses, but the team moved with precision. Explosions lit up the alien skies as Earth's forces engaged Kalek's troops. Reaching the weapon's core, they found Kalek waiting. His massive frame loomed over the controls, his voice a venomous hiss. You come here, preaching peace while bringing war. Your hypocrisy will be your undoing. Mira stepped forward. And your hatred will be yours. Surrender, Kalek. The galaxy doesn't need more war. Kalek roared in defiance, activating the weapon's overload sequence. If I fall, I take you all with me. With seconds to spare, Riven's team worked to disable the core while Mira engaged Kalek in a fierce battle. Though Kalek was stronger, Mira's agility and determination gave her the edge. She delivered a final blow, incapacitating him as the team shut down the weapon. As Kalek was taken into custody, Riven placed a hand on Mira's shoulder. You've done it again, Mira. Saved the galaxy from itself. Back on Earth, the victory was celebrated. But Mira knew their work was far from over. Addressing the galaxy, she spoke of unity, hope, and the need for vigilance. The coalition's uprising had been quelled, but its roots were a reminder of the challenges that came with leadership. And so, humanity continued its journey among the stars, ever watchful, ever striving to balance strength with compassion. For the galaxy, Earth had become both a guardian and a guiding light, proving time and again that their resolve was unbreakable. The aftermath of the conflict with Kalek's coalition rippled across the galaxy. While the Interstellar Defense Accord, IDA, celebrated its triumph, the underlying tensions that had fueled the rebellion couldn't be ignored. Mira Elson, now a symbol of unity and resilience, worked tirelessly to address the grievances of the dissenting factions. She understood that the galaxy's wounds wouldn't heal overnight. In the shadow of these efforts, whispers of a new and far greater threat began to emerge. Fragments of intercepted transmissions and cryptic reports from deep space explorers spoke of a force moving through the uncharted void rim. Colonies and outposts on the edges of known space had gone silent. Survivors, when found, described encounters with an entity they could barely comprehend. An ancient, hive-like intelligence known as the Onyx Swarm. Admiral Riven, though officially retired, was summoned once again to Earth's command council. The room was tense, the air heavy with anticipation as holographic images of destroyed outposts and fleeing refugees flickered on the central display. The Onyx swarm doesn't conquer, Riven explained, his voice grave. It consumes. If these reports are accurate, this isn't just humanity's fight. It's a threat to the entire galaxy. Mira, standing by his side, spoke up. If we face this alone, we will fail. We need to rally the Accord, every species, every fleet, every resource. The Onyx swarm threatens us all. The IDA began assembling the largest coalition fleet in history. Species that had once been rivals now found themselves fighting side by side. Even the remnants of Kalek's forces, under a new, more moderate leadership, offered their support. The effort wasn't without its challenges. Long-standing mistrust and cultural differences led to frequent clashes among the Allied forces. But under Myra's diplomatic guidance and Riven's tactical expertise, the coalition began to take shape. The Onyx swarm revealed itself sooner than expected. A massive black tide of biomechanical ships poured into the Arinder sector, obliterating everything in its path. The coalition scrambled to intercept, meeting the swarm in a series of brutal skirmishes. For every victory, the cost was high, and the swarm's ability to adapt to the coalition's tactics only heightened the stakes. The turning point came during the Battle of Xyler's Reach, where the coalition's fleets faced the swarm's largest force to date. The battle raged for days, the stars themselves obscured by the sheer number of ships. The Solaris Ascendant, now upgraded with cutting-edge weapons and experimental shielding, led the charge. Mira coordinated with other leaders, ensuring that no species fleet bore the brunt of the fighting alone. Amid the chaos, Riven and Mira discovered a critical weakness. The swarm was being directed by a central intelligence, a massive construct hidden within a fortified cluster of asteroids. Destroying it could disrupt the swarm's coordination, giving the coalition a chance to regroup and strike back. A daring plan was formed. A strike team, led by Mira and Riven, would infiltrate the asteroid cluster and disable the central intelligence while the fleets engaged the swarm in a diversionary assault. The mission was high risk, but it was the only chance to turn the tide. The strike team's approach was harrowing, weaving through a web of swarm defenses. Inside the asteroid cluster, they encountered the core, a pulsating, alien structure that seemed alive, its surface writhing with dark energy. The closer they got, the more they felt its oppressive presence. A mind probing theirs, trying to break their will. The team planted charges around the core while Mira and Riven worked to hack into its systems, hoping to extract intelligence about the swarm's origins. As the countdown ticked away, the swarm began converging on their position. Time was running out. In a desperate final push, Riven stayed behind to hold off the swarm, buying Mira and the others the precious seconds they needed to escape. "You've got this, Mira," Riven said, his voice calm despite the chaos. "The galaxy needs you more than it needs me," Mira protested, but Riven was resolute. As the charges detonated, the asteroid cluster erupted in a blinding explosion, severing the swarm's connection to its central intelligence. The coalition fleets seized the opportunity, driving the disoriented swarm back into the void. Though victorious, the cost was immense. The coalition mourned its losses, with Riven's sacrifice becoming a rallying cry for continued unity. Mira, now carrying the weight of his legacy, vowed to ensure that the galaxy remained prepared for whatever challenges lay ahead. In the aftermath, the coalition unearthed fragments of data from the destroyed core, revealing a startling truth. The Onyx swarm was not native to their galaxy. It was a remnant of a far older conflict, one that hinted at forces beyond their comprehension. The battle had been won, but the stars whispered of even greater dangers lurking in the void. And so, the story of humanity and its allies continued, a testament to resilience, sacrifice, and the unyielding drive to protect their place among the stars. The galaxy entered a period of cautious rebuilding, yet the whispers of a looming shadow grew louder. The data recovered from the Onyx swarm's core provided fragmented but unsettling clues about its origin. A distant galaxy torn apart by ancient wars, leaving only ruin and the swarm as its final harbinger. The coalition had stopped the immediate threat, but the message encoded in the core carried a warning. An even greater force might follow. Mira Elson, now leader of the Interstellar Defense Accord, felt the weight of the galaxy's survival pressing on her shoulders. She spent sleepless nights analyzing the data with top scientists and strategists. Among them was Dr. Leora Vin, an eccentric but brilliant xenobiologist who had begun piecing together a chilling hypothesis. These remnants suggest the swarm was running, Leora explained during a high-level council briefing. Her holographic projections showed an ancient map of a shattered star system. It fled its galaxy because it was being hunted. Whatever drove it here is likely far worse. Mira felt a chill run down her spine. If they come here, we won't be ready. Not yet. Admiral Tyrus Valen, Riven's successor and a fierce tactician, crossed his arms. Then we prepare. We don't wait for them to come to us. We find them first. The council debated the merits of Valen's suggestion. Some feared antagonizing an unknown enemy, while others believed preemptive action was the only way to ensure survival. Ultimately, Mira made the call. A fleet of explorers, scientists, and soldiers would venture into the void to trace the swarm's path and uncover what lay beyond. The flagship of this expedition, the Eternity's Vigil, was a marvel of engineering, a fusion of technology from multiple species. Mira insisted on joining the mission despite the risks. If we're asking others to face the unknown, I'll do the same, she said. Her decision inspired both admiration and concern. The journey into the void was unlike anything the Coalition had attempted. The Eternity's Vigil passed through ancient, crumbling wormholes, navigated star fields that seemed to defy known physics, and encountered remnants of civilizations long dead. Each discovery painted a picture of a galaxy that had once thrived but was now eerily silent. As they approached the heart of the swarm's origin galaxy, the crew encountered their first sign of life, or so they thought. What appeared to be a massive derelict station lit up as they neared, its ancient systems reactivating. A message, encoded in a language no one recognized, played across their consoles. It was neither a warning nor a greeting. Instead, it was a desperate plea for help. Dr. Vin worked tirelessly to decode the message. When she finally succeeded, her face was pale. This station belonged to a species called the Luminary Collective. They were the last survivors here. The message says they created the swarm to fight something they called the Veil, but it backfired. Mira frowned. What is the Veil? Leora shook her head. I'm not sure, but the description is haunting. A force that consumes not just matter but reality itself. The Veil doesn't conquer or destroy, it erases. Before the council aboard the Eternity's Vigil could process this revelation, the station's systems activated further, revealing a holographic map of the galaxy. Marked on it were hundreds of erased systems. Entire regions turned to void. And then, the map shifted, showing the trajectory of the Veil's advance. It was moving toward their galaxy. Admiral Valen stood. We have to warn the Accord. If this thing reaches us, there won't be anything left to fight for. Mira nodded, but didn't look away from the map. Her mind was racing. We need more than a warning. We need a way to stop it. The holographic map revealed one final clue. A hidden facility deep within a collapsing star cluster, marked as the last refuge of the Luminary Collective. If answers existed, they would be there. The expedition altered course, racing against time to reach the facility before it succumbed to the dying star's gravity. The journey was harrowing. Navigating the cluster's unstable environment pushed the Eternity's Vigil to its limits. They encountered remnants of the swarm, now mindless and scattered without their central intelligence, and had to fend off rogue factions exploiting the chaos. When they finally arrived at the facility, it was a marvel of ancient engineering, still intact despite the surrounding destruction. Inside, they discovered records and prototypes of weapons the Luminary Collective had designed to combat the Veil. Among these was a device called the Resonance Forge, capable of manipulating space-time itself. But the records warned of its dangers. It was untested and could just as easily destroy a galaxy as save it. Mira and her team faced a dilemma. Deploying the Resonance Forge was a gamble, one that could end their galaxy's survival before the Veil even arrived. Admiral Valen, ever the pragmatist, supported using it immediately. We don't have time for hesitation. If this is our best shot, we take it, Dr. Vin countered. If we misuse this, we could end up doing the Veil's work for it. Mira listened, weighing the stakes. Finally, she made her decision. We'll return to the Accord with the Resonance Forge. Together, we'll figure out how to use it safely. We fight smarter, not recklessly. As they prepared to leave the facility, an energy surge swept through the structure. Systems activated, revealing a final message from the Luminary Collective. A holographic figure, alien yet eerily familiar, spoke directly to Mira. If you are hearing this, you carry the last hope of your galaxy. But beware, the veil is closer than you think. It may already be among you. The crew exchanged uneasy glances. Mira steeled herself. Then we'd better hurry. The galaxy is counting on us. The Eternity's Vigil began its return journey, carrying not just the Resonance Forge, but the weight of an impending apocalypse. Behind them, the collapsing star consumed the facility, erasing the last traces of the Luminary Collective. Ahead lay the unknown, an enemy unlike any the galaxy had faced, and a choice that could save or doom them all. But humanity had risen before, and Mira was determined it would rise again. The stars waited, holding their breath. The return of the Eternity's Vigil to Coalition space was met with a mixture of relief and dread. The revelations about the Veil, its unstoppable advance, and the dangerous Resonance Forge filled the halls of the Interstellar Defense Accord with tension. Mira Elson stood before the assembled council, her voice steady despite the gravity of her words. "We don't have the luxury of time," she began. "The Veil is moving toward us, and if the Luminary Collective's warnings are true, it won't stop until there's nothing left. The Resonance Forge is our best chance, but using it recklessly could doom us as surely as the Veil." The council debated for hours. Some argued for immediate deployment, while others urged caution. Admiral Tyrus Valen, though known for his aggressive strategies, sided with Mira. "If we fail to understand this weapon, we'll become our own worst enemy. We need to act, but with precision." Dr. Leora Vin proposed a solution. "We don't need to deploy the forge in its entirety right away. We can test its capabilities on a smaller scale, in the farthest reaches of Coalition space. If the results are promising, we'll have a framework for a larger operation." The council agreed. Under Mira's leadership, the Coalition began assembling a team of scientists, engineers, and soldiers to study and prepare the forge. The test site was chosen, an abandoned system on the edge of the galaxy, devoid of life but close enough to the Veil's projected path to yield valuable data. The operation was fraught with challenges. The forge's alien technology defied conventional understanding, and as the team worked to activate it, strange phenomena began to occur. Space-time rippled, and fleeting images of other realities flickered across their instruments. Mira and Leora worked tirelessly to maintain control, while Valen oversaw security, ensuring no unauthorized access could jeopardize the mission. When the forge was finally activated, the results were both awe-inspiring and terrifying. A localized burst of energy created a bubble of reality-resistant space, a temporary sanctuary against the Veil's erasure. But the strain on the forge was immense, and the device barely survived the test. "This is only the beginning," Leora said, analyzing the data. "The forge can protect us, but not indefinitely. To push the Veil back, we'll need to amplify its power and deploy it galaxy-wide. But that will take everything we have, and we'll have one shot." The Coalition began its largest mobilization effort in history. Every species contributed resources, ships, and personnel. The forge was transported to the heart of Coalition space, where it would be integrated into a massive defensive array designed to amplify its energy across the galaxy. As the Veil's approach accelerated, the Coalition fleets took defensive positions along the projected path. The Eternity's Vigil led the charge, Mira and Valen at the helm. The sight of the combined fleets, representing every corner of the galaxy, inspired hope even in the face of impending annihilation. The Veil arrived as a silent wave of darkness, consuming stars and systems without a sound. The Coalition's weapons had no effect. Their fleets could only hold their ground, buying time for the forge to charge. Mira coordinated the defense, her voice a beacon of resolve. "We stand together," she broadcast to the fleets. "No matter what comes, we fight for the galaxy, for every life it holds. Hold the line." The Veil pressed closer, its erasure field threatening to engulf the Forge before it could reach full power. Mira, Valen, and the fleet commanders made a desperate decision to push the line forward, buying critical minutes at the cost of their own survival. The Eternity's Vigil led the charge, its shields barely holding against the encroaching darkness. At the final moment, the Forge reached full power. Mira gave the order to activate it, her voice steady despite the chaos. "This is for everyone. Light it up." The Forge unleashed a torrent of energy, rippling across the galaxy. The Veil recoiled, its advance halted as the energy bubble expanded. Systems that had been on the brink of erasure stabilized, their stars shining once more. The Coalition fleets, battered but unbroken, watched as the Veil began to dissolve, its essence scattered across the void. The cost, however, was immense. The Eternity's Vigil and many other ships had been lost in the final push. Mira, Valen, and countless others were listed as missing, their fates unknown. The galaxy mourned its heroes even as it celebrated survival. In the years that followed, the Coalition rebuilt, stronger and more unified than ever. The Forge's energy field became a permanent fixture, a safeguard against future threats. Statues of Mira Elson and Admiral Tyrus Valen were erected on every major world, their names etched into the annals of history. Yet among the stars, rumors persisted. Some claimed to have seen a lone ship, its hull marked by the scars of the final battle, navigating the void. Others spoke of fleeting messages, echoes of Myra's voice, still guiding the galaxy from the shadows. The Veil was gone, but the galaxy had learned a vital lesson. Unity, sacrifice, and resilience were its greatest strengths. And though the stars remained vast and mysterious, the Coalition stood ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, its resolve unbreakable. For humanity and its allies, the story was far from over. It was simply another chapter in their journey among the stars.